Hello, everybody. Scoony 7 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we've got the 17-5 Chicago Cubs taking on the 7-16 Washington Nationals. This is game one of a three-game series between the Cubs and the Nats. Who's going to take the first game? Will it be the Cubs? Will it be the Nats? We'll find out in 9 innings time. And here is the starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs. Leading off the center fielder, Reed Johnson. Batting second, the shortstop, Ryan Thierat. Batting third, the first baseman, Derek Lee. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the third baseman, Amiris Ramirez. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Daryl Ward. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Mark DeRosa. Batting seventh, the catcher, Giovanni Soto. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Ronnie Sindo. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Ryan Dempster. On the mound for the Nats is Odias Perez. He'll come in today's game with an starting ERA of 8.45. He's got 2 wins and 1 loss. He's pitched 21 1/3 of an inning. Allowed 33 hits, 17 strikeouts, and 8 walks. We're here at Nationals Park, which gives a -2 to strikeouts, but a +2 to walks. And nothing for home runs. And with that, Reed Johnson steps up into the batter's box. He's batting a .367 as the home plate umpire dusts off home plate. And we're ready for the first pitch. And we're off with a 4-5, column 4, row 5. That is a blank. And that is going to be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. It's a base hit past the shortstop. And with that, Reed Johnson will start this game off with a base hit. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Washington Nationals. We've got Mo Pena out there in left field. Millage will be in center. Dukes will be at right field. Going around the horn, we've got Zimmerman on third. Guzman will be at short. Lopez at first. Lopez is on second. Johnson is at first. Estrada will be behind the plate. And Perez will be on the mound. Runner on first, strategy roll is a 13. The Cubbies are holding off. Infield at double play depth, and that's going to bring up Ryan Thierat. He's batting a .364. And here is the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. That is a hit by pitch. Odias will add a +3 to the hit by pitch rating. That makes his hit by pitch rating for Ryan. That makes it a 6. However, we do check the D20 on a hit by pitch. That's a 9. Nothing happens. 9 is too high. Does not get hit. He got out of the way in time, and that's going to be a 6-4. Column 6, row 4, and that's going to be a line drive to the shortstop. Guzman with the catch and makes the out. However, there is no double. We're going to roll for double play. On a 1, it's at first base. On a 2 through 3, it's a second base. It's at second. No double play there, and the Nationals will put 1 away. And that is going to bring up Derek Lee. Derek Lee batting a .364. Strategy roll is a 4. That is going to be a hit and run attempt. Now, on a hit and run, all base run ratings will get a +2. Ground double play ratings get a -2. All walks and home runs are cut in half. We round those down. Lineouts, and the batter should line. Lineouts are considered double plays, And if the batter is to strike out, we'll resolve the play as a steal. Infield still is at double play, Devin. I got that all memorized, too. 3-6, column 3, row 6, that is a blank. We consider that a blank right now because Perez has not faced his allowed number of batters. That's that first number that counts down. And that is going to be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. Now, that is a split result. So on a split result, how we resolve that is we take a look at the pitcher. Is the pitcher left or right-handed? That's going to tell us what side of the slash to look under. And with that, Perez is a left-handed pitcher. And that is going to be a ground ball to Lopez. He'll make the catch there. And that is going to be a fielder's choice, but we are going to check for double play. 0-0, and that goes to the shortstop. Ground double play is a 1, however, that is a 4. The die roll is high. So with that, Johnson will advance to second. So if the die roll is high, it's a force runner on first, force out. However, it is equal to. So Johnson will go to second with the out being at first. So 2 away, and with 2 outs, we had a +1 to the base run rating. Ramirez up. He's batting at .329. Strategy roll is a 15, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. Same thing on the batter card, this time off the pitcher card. It is a split result, so we're going to look to the right-handed side of the slash. Ramirez is a right-handed batter. And that is going to be a 5-3, column 5, row 3, double star 4. And that is going to be a ground ball to Zimmerman. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, but the Cubs will leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the first, and here is the starting lineup for the Washington Nationals. Leading off, the second baseman, Felipe Lopez. Batting second, the shortstop, Christian Guzman. Batting third, the third baseman, Ryan Zimmerman. Batting fourth, the first baseman in the cleanup position, Nick Johnson. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Lasting Millage. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Johnny Estrada. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Willie Mohena. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Elijah Dukes. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Odias Perez. On the mound for the Cubs is Ryan Dempster. Comes into today's game with a starting ERA of a 3.91. He's got 3 wins and no losses. He's pitched 25 1/3 of an inning, allowed 19 hits, 28 strikeouts, and 11 walks. And with that, Lopez steps up into the batter's box. He's batting a .207, and here is the first pitch. And that is going to be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1-7, the 10 is too high. And with that, it's a 6-2, column 6, row 2, double star 5. It's a ground ball to Thurrott. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Chicago Cubs. DeRosa will be out there in left field. Johnson in center. Ward will be at right field. Going around the horn, we've got Ramirez on third. Thurrott will be at short. Sendo on second. Lee at first. Soto will be behind the plate. And Dempster will be on the mound. Guzman batting a .327, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. He's a switch hitter, so he's batting left. That is a home run. On a 1-4, the 5 is too high. And that is going to be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. It's a double out there in the left field. And with that, Guzman will get on with a double. 1 out, runner on second. Strategy roll is a 4, and that's going to bring up Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman batting a 245. Strategy roll is a 4. Infield at normal depth. Here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. That is a double star. Double question mark is the only thing we follow. Double star on a 1-12. That is a 6. It is in range. And that is going to be a fly ball back there to Johnson. Johnson will go back, make the catch, and put 1 away. And puts 2 away, actually. Guzman will hold, and we will see if he advances. We subtract 1 from the base run rating. Die roll is a 3. It's going to be equal to or less than the 2, so he needed a 2 or a 1, and he would have advanced to third. So runner on second with 2 outs. Strategy roll is a 17. Nationals holding off. Nick Johnson batting a 262. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-5, column 5, row 5, strikeout plus. Now, on a strikeout plus, we add 10 to the strikeout range. Minus 2, we add 8. That is an 18. That is a 15. Struck him out looking. And the Nationals go down. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they also leave 1 stranded. After 1, we're tied at 0. We go to the top of the second. Darryl Ward, Mark DeRosa, and Giovanni Soto due up for the Cubs. Darryl Ward batting a 174, and here is the pitch. Pitch to Ward, 5-6, column 5, row 6, home run. On a 1-11, the 12 is too high. And that is going to be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. It's a ground ball down the third baseline. Zimmerman will make the catch, throws it over to Johnson, and that'll put 1 away. Mark DeRosa batting a 274, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5, strikeout on a 1-9. That is a 4. Struck him out. And that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and Giovanni Soto batting a 418, and here is the pitch. Soto, 1-2, column 1, row 2. It's a range play at the ballpark. So anytime you get the at symbol as the result, you'll resolve the play at the ballpark card. And with that, we're going to go to Nationals Park, and that's going to be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. It's a double star 1. It's a ground ball to Zimmerman. Zimmerman's range, that is the first number. It's a 1-3. Zimmerman's range, 1-3. That's a 1. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side, and the Cubs go down in order. No runs, no hits, and no errors. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the second. Lastings Millage, Johnny Estrada, and Willie Mo Pena due up for the Nationals. Millage batting a 264. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? And that is going to be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. And that is a double star 1. That's a fly ball back there to Johnson. His range is on a 1-3. That is a 4. It is outside of the range. We're going to roll 1d20. If it's a 1-4, it's a double. 5-20, it becomes a single. That is a 1, and Millage will slide safely into second as Johnson throws it to the cutoff man at Thurot and will. And that is. And Millings will start this inning off with a double. Johnny Estrada batting a 182. Strategy roll is a 6. Infield normal depth, no outs, runner on second, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. That is a blank. And that is going to be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. That's a line drive to the first baseman. Lee will make the catch there. And the runner is doubled up. And with that, it's a 4. He'll tag up at second. And they'll make the double play. So 2 away, and that's going to bring up Willie Mo Pena. He's batting a 243, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. Before we get to that range play, Johnson on his range plays, he's 5 for 7. Whose range are we checking? And that is going to be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. It's a ground ball down the third baseline to Zimmerman. His range is on a 1-2. It's a 1. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on. After 2, we're tied at 0. We go to the top of the third. Ronnie Sindo, Ryan Dempster, and Reed Johnson due up for the Cubs. Ronnie Sindo batting a 289. And that is going to be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That is a range play. Whose range are we checking? That's going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. It's a ground ball to Lopez. His range is on a 1-2. That is a 2. Lopez will make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. And with that, Ryan Dempster is up. Dempster batting a 222. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That's a strikeout. On a 1-14, that is a 4. Struck him out. And that'll put 2 away, and we go to the top of the order. Reed Johnson, 1 for 1. And here is the pitch. Johnson, 6-5, column 6, row 5. That's a strikeout. On a 1-8, the 11 is too high. And that is going to be a 6-1, column 6, row 1, double star 1, ground ball down the third baseline. Zimmerman with the catch. And that will retire the side. So the Nationals retire the Cubs. In order, it's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. Eliza Dukes, Odias Perez, and Felipe Lopez due up for the Nats. Eliza Dukes batting a 250, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That is a walk. We add 2 to that walk range. Duke's walk range is a 1-23. That is a 12. And with that, Dukes will walk. So he'll lead off with a walk. Strategy roll is a 12, and Odias Perez up. He's batting a 250. Here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-5, column 5, row 5, strikeout plus on a 1-21. That is a 6. Struck him out looking. And that'll put one away, and we go to the top of the order. Felipe Lopez, 0 for 1, strategy roll 17, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1-7, that is a 2. Struck him out. 2 outs, runner on first, Christian Guzman, 1 for 1 with a double. Strategy rolls a 17, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-1, column 6, row 1 at the ballpark. We're going to go to National Park. And that is going to be a 1-5, column 1, row 5, double star 4. It's a ground ball to Ramirez. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left and none left on for the Nationals. After 3, we're tied at 0. We go to the top of the 4th. Ryan Thurrott, Derek Lee, and Amiris Ramirez due up for the Cubs. Ryan Thurrott, 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-6, column 6, row 6, double question mark, single on a 1-11. The 16 is too high. 2-4, column 2, row 4. That's going to be a base hit out there into left field. And Thurrott will get on with a base hit. Derek Lee. Lee is 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 3. It's a steal attempt. And they're going to send him. It's a 1. Thurrott will go to second. We're going to check he's safe at second. We're going to check to see if there is a roll for an error. Estrada's error ranges on a 1-20. That is a 4. He throws it wide. And that is an error, and Thurrott will take third. So with that, the Cubs in striking distance. Derek Lee, 0 for 1, and the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-3, column 6, row 3 at the ballpark. We're going to go to National Park, and that's going to be a 1-1, column 1, row 1, fly ball back there to Penna. Penna will make the catch. And now we're going to check to see for the sacrifice. That is a 3. No, and he will hold. So Ramirez, 0 for 1. Runner on third with 1 out. Strategy roll is an 8, and here is the pitch. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a walk. On a 1-14, that is a 10, and that is going to be a walk. And that is his first walk of the game. Strategy roll is a 19. Dale Ward is up. Ward, 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. That's a strikeout. On a 1-19, that is a 5. Struck him out. And that'll be 2 away, and that's going to bring up Mark DeRosa, 0 for 1. He struck out his last time up. Strategy roll is a 10, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-2, column 1, row 2, range play at the ballpark. By the way, infield is at normal depth. And that is going to be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. Now, on the ballpark card, if you roll a blank on the ballpark card, it is considered a rare play. There are 3 spots on the ballpark card that are blanks. So if any of those come up as a result, it is a rare play. So let's see what the rare play is going to be. It is a center field dives for a sinking liner, resolve as an S8 range play. We're going to check for injury for Milledge. His range is on a 1-2. That is a 4. He won't be able to make the catch, the play there. And with that, for the Nationals, Lasting Milledge is injured and will miss 6 games. So I am going to make a note of this. And that is how injuries happen here in Inside Pitch. So Milledge will come out at right field. And they are going to bring in Austin Kearns. Oh, I'm sorry, that's center field. Center field. Willie Harris. Sorry, that was my fault. Willie Harris will come in to play center field. So Harris will come in to cover for the injured Milledge. DeRosa, 1-1 scores. Mirez on second. Does he advance to third? If the roll is less than or equal to the ABR, then the runner advances otherwise he holds. That is a 2. And with that, Ramirez will go to third. So 2 outs. Strategy roll is a 12. Soto 0 for 1. And here is the pitch. Soto 6-5, column 6, row 5. That's a strikeout on a 1-11. The 4 in range struck him out. Struck him out. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. And 2 left on for the Cubs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Ryan Zimmerman, Nick Johnson, and Willie Harris due up for the Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 1. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1-8. That is an 8. Struck him out. And that'll be 1 away. Nick Johnson 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. That is a strikeout on a 1-8. That is a 4. Struck him out. 2 up, 2 down. Willie Harris. He's batting a .231. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. Strikeout on a 1-5, 17. Too high. And that is going to be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. That's going to be a base hit down the first baseline. And with that, Harris is on with a base hit. Strategy rolls a 16, and that's going to bring up Johnny Estrada, who is 0 for 1. Infield normal depth, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1-2, the 4 is too high. And that is going to be a 4-5, column 4, row 5. It's a pop-up. Thurrott will get underneath it. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on for, and 1 left on for the Nats. After 4, it's Cubs 1, Nationals nothing. We go to the top of the 5th. Ronnie Sindo, Ryan Dempster, and Reed Johnson due up for the Cubbies. Ronnie Sindo 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a blank. And that is going to be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. It's a base hit out there in the center field. And Sindo will get on with a base hit. Ryan Dempster is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Strategy roll is a 7. Cubs holding off. Infield double play depth. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-4. Column 2, row 4. That's going to be good for a base hit. Sindo will go to second. He'll hold. He will go from first to third on a base run rating of a 4 through 6. That is a 3. So no outs, and we go to the top of the order. Reed Johnson, 1 for 2. Strategy roll is a 6. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. It's a wild pitch. So, on a wild pitch, on a 1-13, it's a wild pitch. On a 14-16, it's a passed ball. 17-20, nothing happens. It's a 6. It's a wild pitch. And that'll move the runners up to second and third on a wild pitch. And Reed Johnson, here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. It's going to be a line drive to Lopez. He'll make the catch. And no double play there, but 1 away. 6 is too high. On a 1-2, it'd be at first. On a 3-4, it'd be at second for the double play. So 1 out. And we're going to go to Ryan Thurrott, who is 1 for 2 today with a run scored. Strategy roll is a 5. 1 out, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. That's a strikeout. On a 1-2, the 19 is too high. And that is going to be a 4-5, column 4, row 5, double star 2. It's going to be a ground ball to Guzman. Guzman will make the catch. And are they going to try to score the runner? No, they are not. So 2 outs. Runners on first, and second, and third. Derek Lee is up. He's 0 for 2. Strategy rolls a 13. And here is the pitch. Infield normal depth. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. That is a strikeout. On a 1-5, the 18 is too high. And that is going to be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. Power hit to Dukes. On a 1-6, it's a single. On a 7, it's a double. 8-11, it is a triple. If it's a 12 or higher, it is a flyout. It's a 9. That's going to be a base clearing triple. And with that 2-run score, it's a 2-run RBI triple by Derek Lee. It's 3-0 Cubs. And with that, Amiris Ramirez, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, steps up. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. That is a blank. And that is going to be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. It's going to be a fly ball back there to Dukes. Dukes will make the catch. And that will retire the side. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Willie Mo Pena, Eliza Dukes, and Odias Perez due up for the Nats. And with that, Pena is 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-3, column 5, row 3. That is a strikeout. Pena's 0 for 1. Strikeout on a 1-13. The 16 is too high. 5-1, column 5, row 1. That's going to be a ground ball down the third baseline. Ramirez will make the catch there. And that'll put 1 away. Eliza Dukes walked his last time up. And here is the pitch. That is going to be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. That is a strikeout. On a 1-11, the 15 is too high. And that is going to be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. That's going to be a ground ball to Thurot. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. Odias Perez, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And here is the pitch. Perez, 3-1, column 3, row 1. That is a strikeout. On a 1-11, the 13 is too high. And that is going to be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. It's a pop-up. Ramirez will get underneath it, and that will retire the side. So the Cubs retire the Nats in order. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors after 6. Cubs 3, Nationals nothing. We go to the top of the 6th. Darrell Ward, Mark DeRosa, and Giovanni Soto due up for the Cubs. Darrell Ward, 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. Taking a look here at Odias Perez, he can face 2 more batters before he's considered tired. It looks like we do have some action in the Nats bullpen. And that is going to be a 3-6, column 3, row 6. That is a blank. Ward, 3-1, column 3, row 1. That's going to be a ground ball to second base. Lopez will make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Mark DeRosa, 1 for 2 with a strikeout and an RBI, and here is the pitch. DeRosa, 3-3, column 3, row 3. Possible error. Now, on an error check, that is the number in the brackets that we check. Whose error range are we checking? And that's going to be a 2-6, column 2, row 6. Ground ball to Guzman. His error range is a 1-9. It's a 6. It's an error. And boots the ball. It's a 1-base error. And with that, DeRosa will get on. Mark that one down as an E6. They're giving him the 1 more. And that's going to bring up Giovanni Soto. So with that, Perez is now tired. So if we roll on Perez's card a 4-2, a 3-6, or a 6-6, he will automatically get pulled. And that is going to be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. That is a blank. And that is going to be a 4-2-4. Column 2, row 4, ground ball to Lopez, infield double play depth. And with that is a 0. Guzman is a 0. The pivot is the shortstop. So it's, remember, we take a look at the ground double play rating, roll against 1d6. That is a 1. The double play rating is a 3. And the roll is less than or equal to the ground double play rating is a double play. It's a 4-6-3 double play. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and none left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and it's the top of the order for the Nats. Felipe Lopez, Christian Guzman, and Ryan Zimmerman due up for the Nats. Lopez 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and here is the pitch. By the way, Zimmerman, Dempster can face 8 more batters before he is considered tired. One, 2, column 1, row 2. That is a blank. And that is going to be a 4-5, column 4, row 5. Power hit out there into center field. On a 1-7, it's a single. 8-10, it's a double. 11-13, it's a triple. It's a 6, and that's going to be good for a base hit. So Lopez is on with a base hit. Steele will make that an 11. They are not going to send him. Christian Guzman, 1 for 2 with a double. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5, home run chance on a 1-5. The 18 is too high. And that is going to be a 1-2-6, column 2, row 6. Line drive up the center to Dempster. He'll make the catch. And that will double off the runner at first. That's a double play, 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-1, column 6, row 1 at the ballpark. We're going to go to Nats Ballpark, 4-1, column 4, row 1, double star 1. And that is going to be a fly ball back there to Johnson. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on for the Nats after 6. It's Cubs 3. Nationals, nothing. We go to the top of the 7th. Ronnie Sindo, Ryan Dempster, and Reed Johnson due up for the Cubs. With that, we are going to go to the bullpen. Perez, done. Perez is done. And they're going to bring in Steve Schwell. Comes into the game with a 2.86 ERA. No wins and no losses. He's pitched 6 1/3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He does come into the game with a special K rating. We will talk about that when it comes into play. Odias Perez went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch, and ERA of a 7.58. Sindo is 1 for 2 with a run scored, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-3, column 1, row 3, possible error on a ground ball. Special K rating on a 1 to 5, the 20 outside of the range. Power hit to Dukes. That is a 7, and that's going to be a double. And that is going to be an error. Dukes with the error. It's a 2-base error. And that is an inside the park home run on an error. And with that, Cendo on the inside the park home run. It's 4-0 Cubs. They're going to let Dempster take the hit. And that is going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. Dempster is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a run. Strikeout plus on a 1 to 24, that is a 14. Struck him out. And that'll be 1 away, and we go to the top of the order. Reed Johnson, 1 for 3, and here is the pitch. 4-4, column 4, row 4. That is a double star. Now, double star off the picture card. In the actual game, you roll 1d6 to determine the auto out. In the PC game, which is what we're playing here, it'll randomly choose it. And that is going to be a fly ball to Penna. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Ryan Thierat, 1 for 3 with a run scored. And that's going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. Strikeout plus on a 1 to 13, the 15 is too high. Special K rating on a 1 to 5, the 12 outside of the range, and that is going to be a double star 6. That's a fly ball to Dukes. Dukes will make the catch. And that will retire the side. And Sing, take me out to the ball game. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Nick Johnson, Willie Harris, Johnny Estrada due up for the Nationals. And let's take a look at the box score after 6.5 have been played here at Nationals Park. Chicago, 1 run in the 4th, 2 runs in the 5th, a run in the 7th. 4 runs on 7 hits and no errors. The Nationals have been shut out after 6. No runs on 4 hits. However, they have committed 3 errors. Go to the bottom of the 7th. And Nick Johnson is up. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Johnson 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And here is the pitch. Dempster's staying out there. He can face 5 more batters. 3-5, column 3, row 5, double question mark single on a 1 to 4, the 12. Too high. And that is going to be a 4-1, column 6-1. Column 6, row 1, double star 4. It's a ground ball to Zimmerman. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Willie Harris, 1 for 1, and here is the pitch. Harris 6-1, column 6, row 1 at the ballpark. We're going to go to Nationals Park. And that is going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. On a 1 to 9, it's a double. 10 to 14, it's a home run. It's a 13 outside of the range for a home run, and that's going to be a fly out. Ward will make the catch at the wall and robs him of the home run. And that's going to bring up Johnny Estrada, who is 0 for 2, and here is the pitch. Estrada 4-5, column 4, row 5, possible error on a ground ball. And that is going to be a 5-5. Column 5, row 5. Ground ball up the middle to Sendo. He'll make the catch, throw it over to Lee. No error there. Sendo's error range is on 1 to 3. That is a 4. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors. After 7, it's Cubs 4, Nationals nothing. We go to the top of the 8th. Derek Lee, Amaris Ramirez, and Daryl Ward due up. Steven Shell, done. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Nats, and they are going to bring in Joel Hanna. Joel will come in. Joel comes into the game with an 8.49 ERA. No wins and no losses. He does have 2 saves, but he's pitched 5 1/3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Steve Sherrill. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 strike, and ERA of a 3.70. Derek Lee's no other changes to their lineup. Let's see. Actually, they are. Johnson's going to come out at first. And they are going to bring in Paul LaDuca will take over at first, and then at left field, Ryan Legant. Ryan will take over at left field. They are going to do a double switch. So that's the switch they are going to do. So LaDuca will now be batting 7th, and Ryan will be batting 3rd. Got the 2 Ryans going back to back. Derek Lee going to take, he's 1 for 3 with a triple and 2 RBIs. And that is going to be a 3-3. Column 3, row 3. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 7. The 18 is too high. 3-2, column 3, row 2. That's going to be a ground ball to Guzman. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Ramirez, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. They're going to let him take the hit. Ramirez, 5-4, column 5, row 4. That is a strike. On a 1 to 5, the 7 is too high. And that is going to be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. It's a ground ball up the middle to Guzman. He'll make the catch. 2 up, 2 down, and Daryl Ward will come up. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ward going nuts. Ward got to take the hit. They are going to let Ward hit. And that's going to be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. That's going to be a strikeout plus. On a 1 to 19, the 8 in range struck him out looking. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Nationals retire the Cubs. In order, we go to the bottom of the 8th. Paul LaDuca, Elijah Dukes, and Joel Haranahan due up for the Nationals. Ryan Dempster goes back out there to pitch the 8th inning. He's had 7 shutout innings. Paul LaDuca adding an 081, and that's going to be a 6-1, column 6, row 1. Cubs bullpen starting to warm up just in case we go to the National Ballpark. And that's going to be a 5-5, column 5, row 5, ground ball to Sendo. He'll make the catch, and that'll put 1 away. Elijah Dukes, 0 for 1 with a walk. Dukes going to take the hit. 1-1, column 1, row 1, possible error on a throw. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5, ground ball to Thurrott. His range is on a 1 to 6. That is a 1. He'll throw it wide to Lee. It's a 1 base error. Throws it wide and it goes into the dugout. Dukes is safe on first with an error. And with that, Joel Haranahan not going to take the hit here. And they are going to bring in Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone going to come in to pinch hit. Boone batting a 200. Ryan Dempster tired, 1 out, runner on first. Strategy rolls are turned off. And how do we know that they're turned off? Well, we take the difference in the score. In this case, it's a 4-run game. We add that to the inning we're in. We're in the 8th inning, so 4 plus 8 is 12. If the number you get is higher than 10, you do not roll for strategy until you bring that number down. Dempster, here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 10, the 12 is too high. And that is going to be a 2-6, column 2, row 6. It's a base hit to Ward. Dukes on second, but does he advance to third? It's a -1 to hit out there into right field from first to third. We take 1d6 rolled against the base run rating. Base run rating is a 4. That is a 3. And with that, Dukes will go to third. And with that, the skipper will give him one more. He holds up the one as Dempster will take a look over at the dugout. We go to the top of the order. Felipe Lopez, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Dempster now tired, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 7, the 13 is too high. And that is going to be a 1-2, column 1, row 2, ground ball up the middle. Dempster will make the catch. Are they going to score the runner? They are. So will they go for the auto out at first? Yes, they are. So with that, Dukes will score. Boone will go to second, and the out is at first. 2 outs, and with that, the pulling Dempster will come out of this game. He's pitched 7 2/3 innings. So with that, the Nationals avoid the shutout. They get on the board. And they're going to bring in Michael Warzer. Comes into the game with a 1.0 ERA. No wins and no losses. He's pitched 9 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. They just need him to get 1 out. Aaron Boone, still on. Ryan Dempster, still responsible for Boone. He's 7 2/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, an ERA of a 3.0. Guzman, 1 for 3 with a double. And here is the pitch. It's a 3-run game. Nationals cut that down to 3. 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a range play. Whose range are we checking? That goes to DeRosa. 1-1. It's a single. DeRosa's range is on a 1 to 2. That is a 3. DeRosa can't make the play. Boone goes to third, but as he waved around home, that is a 0. Base run rating is a 3. That is a 2. He'll score. It's an RBI single. And the Nats come back to cut the lead down to 2. It's a 2-run game. Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Zimmerman gonna take the hit. Strategy rolls of 14. Strategy rolls are now turned on. Infield normal depth with 2 outs. 1-2, column 1, row 2. Possible error on a throw. And that is going to be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4, double star 2. That is going to be a fly ball back there to Johnson. His error range is on a 1-3. That is a 7. No error there, and that will retire the side. So 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error, and 1 left on. After 8, Cubs 4, Nationals 2. We go to the top of the 9th. Mark DeRosa, Giovanni Soto, and Ronnie Sindo due up for the Cubs. But will we see some 9th inning magic? We do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Nats, and they are going to bring in, they're going to call in Saul. Better call Saul. Comes into the game with a 12.60 ERA. He's got no wins and 5 losses. He's pitched 5 innings, allowed 11 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Take a look at the stats here for Joel. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 7.15. Take a look at the box score. After 8 innings have been played, it's Chicago scored a run in the 4th, 2 runs in the 5th, a run in the 7th, 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. The Nats came back to score 2 in the 8th. It's 2 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. 13 hits by both teams so far. But the main question is here, will we see some 9th inning magic? Mark DeRosa 1 for 3 with a strikeout and an RBI. DeRosa going to take the hit. And that is going to be a 5-3, column 5, row 3, and that is going to be a walk on a 1-17, 15 in range. And that'll walk DeRosa. No strategy rolls. They are turned off. Giovanni Soto 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Soto going to take the hit. And that's going to be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. That's a strikeout on a 1-8. The 19 is too high. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. It's a ground ball to Guzman. Saul being a right-handed pitcher. So remember, on the batter card, we look to the right-handed side of the slash. And that is an out. Do we have the double play? 0 from Saul, 0 from Lopez, who will be the pivot. That is a 3. We roll 1d6 against the 3. That is a 1. It's a double play. It is a 6-4-3 double play. Double play there. That's going to bring up Ronnie Sindo. Sindo is 2 for 3 with a double and a run. And they are going to let Sindo take the hit. And that's going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. That's a strikeout on a 1-6, the 10. is too high. 4-3, column 4, row 3. It's a line drive to Guzman. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Ryan Laginas, Willie Harris, and Johnny Estrada due up for the Nats. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Cubs, and they are most likely going to go with Kerry Wood. Yep, Kerry Wood going to come in for the save here. Comes in the game with an 8.71. No wins and 2 losses, 3 saves. He's pitched 9 1/3 innings, allowed 15 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 7 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Michael, he went 1/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit, an ERA of a .97. 4, 5, and 6. It's the heart of the lineup. Nationals down by 2. They need 3-5 to win, will be the score. Ryan Zimmerman, batting a .429. And that is going to be a 4-5, column 4, row 5. That's going to be a walk on a 1-21. That is a 2. And that'll be a walk. Willie Harris, 0 for 2. Ryan, they are going to go for a pinch runner here, so Ryan will come out. And they are going to bring in Austin Kearns to pinch run. Kearns comes in to pinch run. Willie Harris is 1 for 2 today, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-5, column 2, row 5 at the ballpark. And that is going to be a 6-3, column 6, row 3, double star 6. It's a fly ball to DeRosa. DeRosa will make the catch, and that'll put one away. Johnny Estrada, 0 for 3. Is Estrada going to take the hit? He is not going to take the hit. And they're going to bring in Will Nevers. Will Nevers batting a .235, and here is the pitch. Nevers, 3-3, that is column 3, row 3, that is a blank. And that is going to be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. It's a fly ball back there to DeRosa. 2 outs. Runner on first. The Nationals down to the last out. Paul Lo Duca, 0 for 1. And he is going to take the hit. Lo Duca, 2-4, column 2, row 4. Strikeout plus on a 1-12. Remember, on a strikeout plus, we add 10. Minus 2, we add 8 to that range. That is a 15-12 is too high. And that is going to be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. Power hit to Ward. It's a 17. That's going to be a flyout. And that's the ball game. As the Chicago Cubs defeat the Washington Nationals. Final score, 4-2. Final line score coming right up. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Nationals will leave one stranded. Final line score coming right up. What a game. Chicago Cubs 4, Nationals 2. Cubs 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. The Nationals 2 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. Ryan Dempster will pick up his 4th straight win. Odias Perez will pick up his 2nd straight loss. Kerry Wood picks up his 4th save. Taking a look at the stats here. Ryan Dempster, who went 4 innings, picks up his 4th win. 7 2/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, an ERA of a 3.28. Odias Perez picks up his second straight loss. He went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch, an ERA of a 7.58. Saul Rivera, the last pitcher up for the Nationals, he pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 walk, an ERA of a 10.50. And Kerry Wood picks up his 4th straight save. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 walk, an ERA of a 7.87. So that is going to do it for us here at Nationals Park, as the Cubs will improve to 18-5, and the Nationals will drop to 7-17. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up on the way through the turnstile. And remember to click that bell notification to be notified of when new videos in the 2008 replay go up, and when I go live with all of the Philadelphia Phillies games. Until then, I'm Scooney007. We'll see you for another exciting game, the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone.